Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, today we're talking about transfers. I don't like to talk about transfers so much. I've done this on stream already, but I want to get this in a video so that whenever someone asks me about it, I don't have to redo it entirely. I can just say, here's a video, watch this, argue with me in the comments. So feel free to argue with me in the comments if you agree or disagree. This looks like a bit of a clusterfuck. We'll come back to this later. I'll explain all my reasoning for this later. First, I want to focus on this though, the financial aspect. If you don't care about the financial stuff, feel free to skip ahead, there will be timestamps in this video. If you do care though, thank you for sticking along and we'll talk about it now. So, here I've got some possible players to come back to Man City, plus their estimated price tag. Some of the price tags are 100% certain. Zubimendi's release clause is £51 million. A lot of people say 60 million. No, it's 60 million euros. It's 51 million pounds. So, this is a certain number. The lab, 100% certain. Klosterman is an estimate by me. He has a transfer value of about 8 million, according to most reports. However, euros by the way. However, I'm going to assume that since it's the summer, or January, sorry, it's gonna be a bit more and you're always gonna get more expensive. So I'm assuming a 22 to 25 million ballpark for Klosterman, which gets him out to 15 million pounds. Bruno Guimaraes, I've seen a lot of reports around 100 million euros. I'm not sure if those are correct. I'm gonna need someone to confirm or deny them for me, but I've gone with 100 million euros, which comes out at 82 million pounds. So, if you add all of this up, you have 178 million pounds in January, plus 21 million from Savio in the summer, which gets you to almost 200 million pounds into 24-25 season. Now we're gonna go to the summer, which is where I also think we need to strengthen. And here I've got some players which some may agree with, some may not agree with. I mean, I know that a lot of people are gonna have question marks around the middle one. Come on, let me drag this. There we go. I know a lot of people are gonna have questions about the middle one. I'm gonna explain that later. Don't worry about the exact play right now. Worry about the price tag. This is the financial part of the video. So, if you add all of this up, I think 3 very good players in positions we need. You have 245 million pounds. So you add 245 million up to 199 million, you get 444 million across 2 seasons. And here you see what Man City has done before in previous seasons. Now just to prove this, by the way, 216 million euros, if you go back to 16-17, there you go, 216 million euros, 17-18, you get 317 million euros. So this is in a time with less inflation than now, where Man City was making less money than now as well. So in that period we spent 533.75 million euros, which comes out at 440 million pounds. So we're only £4 over that, for million pounds, sorry, over that, when we're making more money, and inflation has done its job again, isn't it? Inflation after COVID especially is a bit tragic, but let's not get into economics too much. This is just the finances for Man City. This is actually realistic for Man City. It's not something we'll do every 2 seasons, like absolutely not. But as for a Man City rebuild, this is something we've done before. So if we're talking rebuild, this is what we are realistically looking at. I don't think anyone can tell me financially this is impossible when we've done it before. Like, people like to say this is never gonna happen, it's too much money. Well, we've done it before, so that's not an argument. Now let's go over to the tactics here. We've got the players that are leaving, by the way. I'll explain those players in a second. So, we've got 3 goalkeepers now. We've got our defenders, blah blah blah. And you see a lot of different colors. So, blue means a starting player. I'm assuming that Guardiol and Diaz are starting. Orange means players that are currently, this second, injured. So obviously they're not going to be injured anymore next season, but right now they are injured. Purple means I'm expecting they're going to be like a backup player or a rotational player. And white means they're new, like new players. So red players are players that are leaving. I'm sorry, Gundogan and Walker, yeah? Gundogan, Walker, Bernardo Silva. I want to talk about those three first. They really have to go. I want Gundogan to have a stadium. Not a stadium, a statue. We're gonna build an entire stadium for Gundogan. No. I want him to have a statue. I really do. But he's not that good anymore. He's not that Gundogan anymore. He has to go. Walker and Bernardo Silva, I think most people are keen to agree. Stones and Ake are a bit too injury prone for my liking. A bit too old. They don't have the energy anymore. So I would also like them to go. Now all 5 of them could be offered contracts at New York City. Or maybe to Girona. Or we could let them go somewhere else, right? Actually, no, there's a transfer ban between Girona and Man City. Never mind, they can't go to Girona, but there are other clubs that Man City owns. Oh, okay, you can go to Lommel. You can go to Lommel in 2nd division, help them get promoted again. They used to be a big club when I was growing up, relatively speaking. So these are the players that I want to go without any transfer. I don't expect to get any money for them. Oh, Carton as well. We might keep Carton. I don't know why Carton is still here. I'm assuming he's being fast-tracked into a coaching role. Now, these 3 players I want to go because I want to trade them for other players. Or sell them to raise money for other players. So, for example, when we're gonna get Eze, if we're gonna get Eze, should I say, I would love to trade Nunez for Eze. I think that's just fine. Bruno Guimaraes, trade Rico Lewis for Bruno Guimaraes plus some money. Then you have to potentially pay less money or you'll convince the club more even if you pay the same amount of money. McAtee, I think you could maybe offer him to Ipswich Town, maybe. Plus some money for the lab, but we're probably gonna activate that buyback clause if we buy the lab. So realistically, we're talking about McAtee to Leverkusen. This is a big stretch. I know, this is a big stretch. So this would be like McAtee plus £100 million or something like that, right? For Florian Wirtz. Whether they accept that or not, I don't know. But these 3 players, I just want them off for the money situations. Or for trades and stuff. Now, the players that we're keeping then. I mean, this is a 25-man squad here. And you might be wondering what are these numbers. So, we have 25 allowed players in a Premier League squad. That's the maximum allowed players in a Premier League squad. A Premier League squad is also allowed to have 17 not homegrown players. And these are the numbers that we have. So we've got 25 players here in this squad. And 15 of them are not homegrown. So Ederson, Ortega, you can go through it. Figure it out yourself. I promise I'm not lying. Echeverri, by the way, he counts as homegrown. Because he's not 21 yet. I believe that's a cut-off age, 21. So he's homegrown. But if he's not, then it would be 16. But he is homegrown, I believe. So, now for maybe pure tactics-wise. Starting 11, I would go with Guardiola Diaz as my centre-backs. A left back in Theo Hernandez. Then we have a right back with Akanji. A right back with Klosterman. And a potential centre-back backup with JSP. Both Klosterman and Akanji can play as centre-backs. So you have that depth. I don't think Rodri will ever be able to play a full season, 38 games, 90 minutes again. I think once you have an ACL injury, take it from someone who has had knee injuries before, you don't recover. You don't recover. You can play again, but you don't recover. So we're talking here about Rodri probably playing 20 games a season rather than 38 games. That means 18 games a season. He's got to have a backup. That backup is Zubimendi. So Rodri and Zubimendi are going to be backing each other up, playing in that defensive midfield role. Guimaraes, I think, will be mainly an 8. I think he can get substituted on to be a 6. He can play as a 6 in certain games, but I believe most of the season he'll be an 8. And getting rotated with Kovacic, because it will take a while for him to get into the Man City team. So O'Reilly, he can play anywhere really. He can be a 6, he can be an 8. He can do both. I think he'll play mainly in cup games like FA Cup, Haaland Backup, and even Champions League sometimes. Or maybe in league games before we play a Champions League game, depending on how much Pep Guardiola trusts in O'Reilly. So midfield, I think most minutes will probably go to Rodri and Guimaraes here in the 6-8 roles. Then, for the 8s, we have Foden and Grealish in my opinion. Now, De Bruyne might leave, by the way. De Bruyne might leave, but I'll explain why I want to keep him for one more year. But first, Foden and Grealish. So, I think Foden is going to be out starting 8. Again, I've talked about him before. He's an 8. He's got some creativity, but he's an 8. He controls the pace of the game. He gets a shot off from distance sometimes, but that doesn't make him a 10, does it? So, I think these two are good 8s. They're going to allow us to play the same or similar system that we are already playing. Foden, I reckon, is going to play most of the games. But I do think Grealish will probably come on as a substitute in almost every game. I think he'll be like that super sub player. He'll come on as a substitute every game. Get Foden some rest. He'll probably start some games as well. Like, let's say, maybe 10 games a season. I think Grealish could realistically start. So Foden and Grealish, that's my logic explained for them. Echeverri, I'm really not sure what to expect from him. I know what to expect from Wirtz. I know what to expect from De Bruyne. I'm not sure about Echeverri. But let's talk about why I want to keep De Bruyne for one more year. I want De Bruyne to have Echeverri and Florian Wirtz as his understudies. Get them under your wing. Teach them the things you know. Teach them the things you've learned. Like De Bruyne, his free kick technique. He learned that from David Silva. Teach Florian Wirtz the free kick technique that David Silva taught you. Teach that to Echeverri. Show these things to them. Help them become better players, right? And then you can go. He'll probably be a super sub. I'm gonna guess he's not gonna start a single game. I think Wirtz is gonna start pretty much all the games with Echeverri starting some. Like, let's say maybe Echeverri gets 8 games and Wirtz 30. De Bruyne is probably gonna be a super sub. I don't think he starts any Premier League game. I think he comes on to in those games. Wingers, wingers are just a luxury, bruv. These are just all luxury. They can all play on left or right. Like Savio, play him on the left, he's balling. Play him on the right, he's not as good, but he's still good. Doku, Eze, Bob, same story. Eze can even play midfield or false 9 if you want. But I prefer him as a winger, personally. Tell me down below if you agree or disagree on that. So this is just pure luxury. This is pure luxury. Wingers. They're probably gonna rotate with each other all season depending on what we need. If we need to get some more pace in the team, we're probably gonna see Savio and Doku start. If we're gonna need some more, control over the game, we're probably gonna have Eze and Bob start. If we need some crossing, we're probably gonna see Savio and Bob. If we need some cutbacks, we're gonna see Eze and Doku. Depends on the situation, right? It completely depends on the situation from what we want or need. Last but not least, most important thing for Man City that I think nobody talks about. Erling Haaland's cover. I have talked about this quite a bit on my channel now, I think. Maybe I talk about it too much, tell me down below, but Erling Haaland, in my opinion, is a great striker. He's very physical, he's in battle every fucking game. But his stamina is fucking horrible. He has no stamina whatsoever. He plays 2-3 games he starts already. Listen, Haaland cannot play more than 5 games in a row. Let Haaland play 5 games, then play the lob. Have the lob start the game. If Haaland scores a hat-trick and we're 3-0 up, take him off the pitch, bring on the lob. Haaland needs to get rested more. Because just look at Haaland at the start of every season. He starts every season. 10 goals in 5 games, 8 goals in 5 games, whatever ridiculous amounts he gets, right? He gets ridiculous amounts in his first 5 games. And then he starts getting tired. And then he gets some goals and then he just starts going on a goal drought. Because he's fucking exhausted. You need to get Haaland a backup, a cover. Someone who can play that 6th game for him. Someone who can come on when he scored a hat-trick, we're 3-0 up, and give him a standing ovation, right? Come over the pitch, get your rest. We do not need Haaland to play every fucking minute. We need Haaland to be fit for the finals. We need Haaland to be fit for the Arsenal games, for the Liverpool games, so on and so forth. Haaland was not fit in that Liverpool game. I promise you. Haaland was fit in that Liverpool game, yeah? If we had rested him beforehand, yeah? If he was fit, he would have done better. But he wasn't fit. He was on the pitch, he was dying, bruv. Look at him. He was like... after fucking 3 minutes of playing. Like, bruv. This guy, yeah? I love Haaland. We all love Haaland. His stamina is not gonna get better. Because it's a byproduct of him being so big and being so physical in every game. That he gets tired so quickly. His stamina is not gonna get better. So we need him to play less. If he plays less, he will play better. I promise you, bro. I promise you. So, that's everything for me. Tell me down below if you agree, disagree with any of this shit. Like and subscribe if you haven't already as well. Helps the channel out a ton. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year here. We're 25 already. Please subscribe. It helps out so much. Helps out so much. And that's it for me. So, thank you for watching to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.